Yo, what's up guys? In today's video I got a bunch of Chicago Bulls news and updates. In today's video I'm going to be talking about yesterday's win over the Pistons, also giving an update on a possible DeMar DeRozan extension with the Chicago Bulls, and talking about a player that has recently been linked to the Chicago Bulls for the NBA trade deadline, and also giving some injury updates later in today's video. But before I jump into today's video, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Also leave a quick like below today's video. It takes a second and helps me out a lot. And leave some comments and questions below today's video about all the news and updates I'm about to jump into. But nonetheless, let's just jump right into it, because I just got done watching the Bulls beat the Detroit Pistons. The Chicago Bulls are now 21-24. And let's just keep it short and simple. The Chicago Bulls did not mess around. The Pistons did not have the lead once yesterday. The Chicago Bulls won every quarter of this game, and they just took care of business, which is finally nice to say, because this Bulls season has been so up and down. This Bulls team has really struggled to beat bad teams, or just teams that they're expected to beat. And huge shout out to the Chicago Bulls big three. They didn't mess around. They all played really good basketball yesterday. Zach LaVine had 30 points, DeMar DeRozan had 26, and Vucevic had 16 and 15, and that was his 10th straight double-double. Huge shout out to Vucevic. I feel like he's had a really underrated season for the Bulls, and he's played really good recently. The Bulls also had 7 players in double figures, so that's really good to see. Like I did say, the Bulls came to Paris. They had a fun trip with their families. They took care of business, and I'm really happy with yesterday's win. Definitely leave some comments and questions about yesterday's win over the Pistons below today's video. But now let's just jump right into the real topics and updates. This article did come out just the other day from Bleacher Report, and a Bulls insider believes DeMar DeRozan will want a contract extension this summer with the Chicago Bulls. And let me just first off say, this doesn't surprise me. I mean, DeMar DeRozan, he got signed and traded to Chicago, and since then, him and Zach have been really good friends. Obviously, he's played with Vucevic, his longtime friend and college teammate, and DeMar DeRozan has talked non-stop about how much he loves Chicago, loves his team, loves the roster, loves his teammates playing for Chicago. And in my eyes, I think it's obvious DeMar DeRozan does deserve a contract extension. Now, Casey Johnson did talk on the Hoops Hype podcast just the other day, and he did say that you can bet that he's going to be looking to be extended this summer. Now, that doesn't really surprise me. I mean, DeMar DeRozan, ever since he got signed and traded to the Bulls, he has been playing out of his mind. And Rob Schaefer of NBC Sports Chicago noted that the 5-time All-Star could potentially earn up to $154 million over 4 years if he does re-sign this summer with the Chicago Bulls. I love DeMar DeRozan. He's played amazing basketball and hit huge shots in and out of every night for the Chicago Bulls, but that's a lot of money for DeMar DeRozan. I'm all for giving him a team-friendly contract extension, but that is a lot of money, especially because DeMar DeRozan is 33 right now, and I would say he is still playing the best basketball of his career. But at the end of that contract, he will be 37 years old. I mean, he is currently averaging 27 points per game, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists, and he also is shooting about 51% from the floor. Regardless of the final terms, extending DeMar DeRozan's contract for the Bulls would mean really forging ahead with the current roster and trying to win now, which in my eyes, I know Casey Johnson has stated this in the past, he expects DeMar DeRozan to sign an extension with the Chicago Bulls. I do believe the Bulls would be silly to let him walk for nothing, but I do feel like a 4-year contract's a little long, especially for all that money. At the end of the day, I do expect the Bulls and DeMar DeRozan to come to a contract extension. I feel like they're just a match made in heaven. Also, DeMar DeRozan obviously played yesterday versus the Pistons after missing his past 3 games. He's been dealing with a little quad injury. Thankfully, it wasn't nothing serious, and DeMar DeRozan did say after yesterday's game that his quad was definitely good and he's feeling good, so that's a huge update and really good to hear. Definitely leave some comments below today's video if you guys want the Bulls and DeMar DeRozan to come to a contract extension and what you guys expect the years and money to be. And the second topic in today's video is about a potential trade target for the Chicago Bulls. And Poeltl is once again being linked to the Chicago Bulls. He was linked to the Chicago Bulls before last year's NBA trade deadline, and I made a few videos talking about him. And let me just say, I really like Poeltl. I believe he's a really good center in the NBA. Now, I don't know if he's a starter in the NBA, even though he is starting for the Spurs currently. Now, this article did come out from Clutch Points, and they did list the best 3 landing spots for Jakob Poeltl, and the Bulls were listed, which doesn't surprise me given that they were interested in last year's trade deadline. And like I did say, there's been a lot of reports about how the Bulls are expected to make maybe a minor move or just stand pat at this upcoming trade deadline. Now, in this Clutch Points article, they did say that Jakob Poeltl would just help out the Bulls defense and rebounding, which I really don't understand. I mean, I really like him as a player. I just don't believe the Bulls should trade assets for a backup center because I don't believe he'd start over Vuce or next to Vuce. Also, the Bulls have Drummond, even though his role for these past few weeks has really decreased and he hasn't played in most games, which is definitely interesting. I don't know why. I feel like when Drummond is playing, he does play pretty well and he's always putting up almost a double-double. I mean, he does have some foul troubling in some games, but I just don't get why the Bulls would trade for another backup center in my eyes. And Jakob Poeltl is also on an expiring contract, which doesn't make sense to me. Also, this report came out just the other day that the Spurs want 2 first-round draft picks for him. I think that's outrageous. I mean, I understand the trade market's crazy right now due to the Rudy Gobert trade, but he is not worth 2 first-round draft picks, especially on an expiring contract. Definitely leave some comments and questions below today's video about the Bulls being linked to Jakob Poeltl at the trade deadline. And the final topic in today's video is just some injury updates. Now, just a quick little injury update on Javonte Green. You know, it's almost been about 2 weeks since his surgery, so I do expect an injury or timeline to come out from then. I did see he didn't travel with the Chicago Bulls for this Paris trip, which is kind of sad. He definitely missed out. Also, just a quick little update on Zach LaVine. You know, January 13th, post-game, he was talking about an injury on his hand. I don't know. It was a really odd situation. He was talking post-game, and he said, you drive the ball when you can't shoot. That's what happens when you have a torn ligament. And Zach LaVine was probable the other day with a right hand contusion. But the Chicago Bulls then did say he doesn't have a torn ligament, which is definitely an interesting post-game comment. Now, since then, Billy Donovan did say Zach LaVine's right hand is fine. It's nothing major. But Zach LaVine does have some swelling on that knuckle and that he'll need to manage it going forward. And since all those injury updates and random comments and odd reports have came out, I think it's clear that that hand doesn't appear to be bothering Zach LaVine much in yesterday's game versus the Pistons. He was still getting to the free throw line more than hunting, catch, and shooting looks, but he's doing it efficiently. He also had some nice passes and some nice assists. All around, Zach LaVine had a really good game yesterday. I really don't believe the hand is bothering him that much. I mean, I saw he was wearing something on his hand to just, I'd say, deal with the swelling. That's definitely something to keep an eye on and monitor for the next few games for the Bulls. But other than that, thankfully this Bulls team is getting more healthy. Hopefully they can get Javonte Green back soon, and hopefully we continue to get positive updates on Lonzo Ball. Definitely leave some comments and questions below today's video about all the injury updates I just broke down, the Bulls being linked to Jakob Poeltl, the whole DeMar DeRozan injury, and the whole contract extension with him. Thank you guys for all the love on the channel in the past few videos. I really do appreciate it. Thank you guys for watching today's video. Have a good one.